All right, hey everyone, welcome into another episode of the Spoiler Alert podcast. I got my buddy Ty back. I'm not solo and sad and alone anymore, so that's good.
I'm back.
We got, not great movies to talk about here. We're in a dry spell for a while, it feels like, and Ty skimming through some of the news. It seems like things might get worse before they get better.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to walk through upcoming movies this week. Ty saw Bottoms today, right?
Today, yeah, a couple hours ago. It's still fresh in the memory.
There you go. Perfect. So he's going to do a Convince Me to See for Bottoms, and then I'm going to do a Convince Me to See The Boogeyman and Past Lives, which have been out for a bit, but finally got around to seeing them because they weren't exciting enough to see when they first came out, honestly. And then to end the show, we will do a full review of, I can't even call it Adam Sandler's movie because he's barely in it, but You Were So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. We both saw that, so we will do a full review. But before that, it's time to play a game, Ty.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hello. Do you want to play a game?
So Ty knows when a game's coming because I throw a picture of Billy the puppet from Saw in the show doc, and it's fitting because Saw 10, Saw X, whatever the hell they're calling it, comes out at the end of this month. So that's extremely exciting, and that's probably the next movie I really care about.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot in between now and then, really.
Not a lot. September is just dead.
September's dead, but August was even worse. Yeah. This month was terrible.
So, Ty, this is doesn't have much to do with what we're talking about today, but it was just something I had an interest in and thought about a few days ago. Actually, I'm like, oh, what are the answers to this question? So the question is, what are the most expensive movies ever made?
Oh
and
boy!
I am going to. We're gonna do it adjusted for inflation, so that way, like the old movies will have a chance. If they were for their time very expensive, so they are gonna be adjusted for inflation. We're just gonna do the top 5 here now to get you going. Even though I just said we'll adjust for inflation to give old movies a chance, it does not matter at all. All of these movies have come out in the past. Let's see here. 25 years.
Okay.
So let's kick it off here, Ty. Don't have to go in any order. Just name a movie, and I will let you know if they are in the top 5 for most expensive films ever made.
Okay, let's go Avatar: The Way of Water.
No.
Really? How about Avatar?
Nope.
Wow.
No
okay,
Avatar. So to give you where those are, Avatar: The Way of Water is number 9 at 350 million. Just Avatar is at number 20 at 323 million.
Wow. Okay. So I'm guessing we're gonna have some Marvel in here, but the real question is how many in the top 5 are gonna be Marvel?
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Endgame for starters.
Endgame is not top 5.
What?
It is number 7 at 407 billion. And that's why I brought this question up, because I was surprised at most of the top 5.
Yeah.
So Marvel, I'll give you a hint there. It is one of the Avengers.
Is it okay? I'll say Infinity War just for the hell of it.
Infinity War is even lower, number 8, 379 million.
Is it just the first Avengers?
It is not. The first Avengers. Oh man, how far down is that? I gotta keep scrolling here. I don't even see it. They did not spend a lot of money on that, apparently. Is it not even in the top 75? Hold on. Avengers. Just Avengers is 42 at 280 million.
Jeez.
So I think you got one Avengers left.
So I was gonna say, so by process of elimination, it's gotta be Age of Ultron.
It is Age of Ultron at number 5
That's pretty crazy.
451 million.
That is insane that it costs more than Endgame or Infinity War for that one.
Yeah, both.
I like that movie. I haven't seen it one in a while, actually. It makes me want to watch it. But
I started playing another Ultron deck in Snap, actually.
I finally have Doctor Doom, so I'm playing around with him now. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, because they murdered my fucking Darkhawk deck.
My boy.
Killed him.
I'm going to guess Star Wars. Probably newer Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, number 1.
Okay. We're
552 million.
Wow. I mean, that movie did look great in the theater, too. I remember seeing that. It was awesome.
They went all in on that movie since I guess technically this is a reboot. I don't know the correct terms, but that was the one, they had to bring it back. They had to bring it back pretty good. So you got 1 and 5 now.
1 and 5. 1 and 5. Okay, so just since, for the hell of it, the last 25 years, Titanic's not on this, right?
Titanic is not, but they are very close. So adjusted for inflation, they are actually at number 11.
Okay.
With 365 million adjusted dollars.
Huh. Is there a Hobbit movie or a Lord of the Rings movie in the top 5?
There is not.
Wow.
It gets super surprising. I'll give you a hint. There is another
Star Wars. Okay. Well, people hated the second one of the newest sequels. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, number 4, 400 million adjusted dollars.
Wow.
They are neither Marvel nor Star Wars.
Marvel nor Star Wars. Are they Disney?
One of them.
One of them is Disney. And it's not Avatar.
Not Avatar.
Surely it's not an animated film.
They are not. They are all live action films.
Part of me wants to say one of the new Jurassic Parks was pretty expensive, but I don't know which one. It would have been the first one. I can't remember which one that one is. The first Jurassic World.
I'll give
Was
it
it just called Jurassic World?
No, so it was the second Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Okay.
Is at number 2 with 503 million adjusted dollars. It is a Disney movie. Okay. It is a live action movie, and it's not good.
Okay. Does it have Johnny Depp in it by chance?
It does.
It's a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
It is.
Wow.
So it is.
I couldn't tell you which one. I don't know. I don't remember what they're all called.
Oh, good. I don't think anyone does. But it is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
On Stranger Tides. What's that? The third one?
Oh, I think that's like the 5th one at that point. Let's see here. Pirates 4. It was number 4.
Okay, I don't even think I saw that one.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone did because it was
what were the reviews like on that one?
Let's see here. Take a look at the reception. Critical response. Just give me damn numbers. 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
Average rating 5 out of 10 on IMDb. 45 out of 100 on Metacritic. So it was not good.
Wow. And they spent all that money on a piece of dog crap.
Yeah, and crazy enough, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is actually number 6.
Shit.
So those movies were just expensive as hell to make for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess they did use a lot of VFX and all that, but
yeah,
CGI, but
just not worth it at all.
Gave Johnny Depp the bag.
Yeah, that's where most of that money went. Also, Hans Zimmer. I had no idea he made the music for that.
I didn't either.
So good for him, I guess. But yeah, those are the top 5. I was just super surprised. I was thinking, all right, it got to be all Marvel at this point.
Oh, I thought for sure.
But yeah,
I would have never guessed Ultron.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're all super CGI, but the Ultron and his bots are, I guess, super difficult to animate.
Probably. I'm after this podcast, I'm for sure watching Age of Ultron.
Nice.
Fire it up.
There you go. Bring it back. But that was Games with Billy, and I will bring it into upcoming movies of the week. So biggest one is likely The Equalizer 3. Robert McCall finds himself at home in southern Italy, but discovers his friends are under the control of the local crime bosses. As events turn deadly, McCall knows what he has to do, become his friend's protector by taking on the mafia. So I also have never seen one or two. Actually, I might have seen the first one. I couldn't tell you anything about this
Yeah.
movie.
I have not seen a single Equalizer. I'm just assuming it's kind of like John Wick, except for old Denzel there, right?
Yeah, that's how I view it as well.
Or
There's
Taken, maybe splash a little bit of Taken in there.
what's weird to me is there's a TV show.
It's Queen Latifah.
It's Queen Latifah. I'm like, okay, I like her, but she's not beating the hell out of anyone like in a martial arts type of way.
She ain't equalizing nothing, brother.
No. But so that's out here. It's getting pretty decent reviews. 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 59 on Metacritic. For movies like this, we've talked about it before with John Wick. What the hell was the other one we just watched with Thor in it? Extraction. You just need good fight scenes. The story can be okay. We know it's going to be a mid story, but if the fighting's good, if the action scenes are good, that's really all you can ask from it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm looking to see how this one stacks up to the other two. So this one on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 76% critic approval and then 92% audience.
Wow.
So let's see. People are liking it. Let's see what they think about the first one for comparison. I didn't realize that the first one came out. Oh, this is a TV show. It came out in 2021. That's got 56 audience, so that's not great.
I didn't realize I can't even call her old. Little Dakota Fanning has been in all of them.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. So the first one's only got 61% critic and 76 audience. Now let's check 2. Maybe they're getting a little bit better as they go on here. Pedro Pascal's in the second one.
Okay.
The second one's apparently worse. So
they
it got
usually
worse,
are.
and now it's getting better again.
Oh shit, that wasn't Dakota Fanning in the first one. That was who I call the refrigerator, Chloe Grace Moretz. I hate her. I cannot
She's
stand
very
her.
weird.
But Dakota Fanning is in this third one. Also, Roy from The Office.
Shout out to him.
There he is. I had to look up what I rated the first one. I did apparently see it, and I gave it a 5.
That's seems like about fair, I'd have to say. Given my little knowledge of the Equalizer, I feel like a 5 is fair.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all.
Sounds about right.
So
it's got to be.
Probably a 5.
If I turned on the TV, it's probably on TNT right now.
Exactly, back to back. Oh, Equalizer marathon, and then
this is shit that dads all around the U.S. just love to have on.
Right, they're like, yeah, I work at a Home Depot too. I could whoop someone's ass if I needed to.
Watching it Saturday before college football, or maybe on Sunday before football. I'm just watching the Equalizer. I'm catching that last act.
Getting really hyped. But yeah, Tide, not one we're going to be running to theaters to see, but
I appreciate Equalizer movies though.
Sure.
We need shit like that.
Next one here, The Good Mother from Academy Award-winning producer of The Wolf of Wall Street. A journalist grieving the murder of her son forms an unlikely alliance with his pregnant girlfriend to track down the killers in the seedy world of drugs and corruption. So we've talked about this before. If you have to reference someone that was involved in another very good movie, that usually does not bode well for the movie you're trying to advertise.
Yeah, it never is a good look.
This stars Olivia Cooke, who is from Ready Player One and House of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, super familiar face, not a familiar name.
And then Hilary Swank, who is just randomly in everything. And then Jack Rayner, who is Christina from Midsummer.
Oh, shit. That's the guy that they light on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, he got burned up.
Sweet.
Okay. I'm like, as I read that, I'm like, Christina? That's a girl's name. It's Christian. Apparently, Google Docs said, no, that's wrong. And then tried to autocorrect it. Christian, I apologize, from Midsummer.
Yeah.
Burn a Bear.
Burn a Bear. That's him.
So I don't know. Sounds okay. Checking out the director. Hasn't done anything at all, which is never a good sign. Yeah, they brought up from the producer of The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm like, okay, which one? Because it's not Scorsese.
Sure there wasn't just one producer of The Wolf of Wall Street. Take it easy with that.
Just some dude that donated like $50,000 to get his name on there.
Yeah, this sounds exactly like The Equalizer, except for moms.
Yeah, so the moms are getting hyped. Well, the dads are watching The Equalizer. Moms are watching this.
Yeah. Moms are watching a movie about the mom that's getting revenge.
Yeah. I'm trying to find which producer they're talking about who was involved in The Wolf of Wall Street, and I have not found him. And I'm on like producer number 6. So that should really probably tell you something about this film.
Yeah. Another TNT one, if even. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on like...
If you're lucky.
If it's on even... I don't even know what streaming service to say.
The Home and Garden channel.
Yeah, there you go.
We get another horror movie. All fun and games. It is a group of Salem teens. Of course it's in Salem. That's a rule. A group of Salem teens discovered a cursed knife that unleashes a demon that forces them to play gruesome, deadly versions of childhood games where there can be no winners, only survivors. That actually sounds super interesting to me.
It does. I'm not going to lie. It does.
So I'm looking at it. Seems to be produced pretty decently. It's only an hour 16.
Wow.
So even if it sucks, you don't have to dedicate much time to it.
Oh, look who's... Hey, it's available to watch on Prime Video.
Really?
You know what that means. We can watch it.
We can say hi to it.
Also,
Nancy Wheeler.
Dyer, the girl. Yeah. You beat me to it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll watch this after the pod.
Creepy ass haircut. It's like those straight bangs in the front. Those are...
Yeah, I don't... I hate that person with the X on their... carved into their forehead on this poster. That's fucking nightmare fuel.
Yeah, they're hyped. And then I recognize this face, and I'm trying to figure out why. But Annabeth Gish, I look at her face, I'm like, man, why do I know you? She's in Sons.
Oh.
And that seems to be how I know a lot of people is from Sons. Sons of
movie...
Anarchy, that is.
Okay, I was going to say, is this movie in Russian or something? But there's weird posters of it in Russian on IMDb for whatever
Probably
reason.
Made by Russians.
It could be.
And then I got real confused when I saw the name Ari. I was like, Ari Aster? But no, it's Ari Costa.
This dude that stars in this movie... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, this Ari Costa guy produced Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. Also, The Winter Soldier.
Shit.
So, there you go.
I'm trying to figure out what this guy looks familiar from. This Asa Butterfield?
Butterfield.
Really familiar face, but I can't tell you from what.
I never saw Ender's Game, but he's the main guy in that.
Yeah, I never saw that either. I don't know.
Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Probably not that either. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Maybe he just looks like another guy.
Looking at he looks like he does. He looks like oh my gosh. Wow, that's gonna bother me. He kind of looks like the nerdy guy from, is it Perks of Being a Wallflower?
It might be.
Let me see. No, I don't think that's who I'm thinking of, but he does kind of look like him. But yeah, no, I absolutely... Oh, Sex Education. That's where I know him from. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
On Netflix.
Huh.
So that must be what they did. They took all the Netflix people and put them in this.
Yeah, I'm surprised this isn't on Netflix.
Is this one I can... So it is out there. All fun and games. Let's make sure it's out there. No. Nope. It's not.
Huh.
That's a shame. Well, we'll give it a week.
Give it a week.
But that actually is, out of all of these, sounds the most interesting to me.
For sure. Only 2 reviews from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. One's rotten and one's fresh.
Okay.
There's fewer than 50 audience ratings here. There's one 5-star review. It says, refreshing, creepy, new twist on the genre, great acting all around with a great cast. That was definitely someone that was just in the movie. There's like
Nancy Wheeler
and the numbies. Whenever they said less than 50 reviews, I didn't expect there to just be one. It should just say one review.
It is less than 50. They didn't lie.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, it's probably one of those movies that's either absolutely terrible or a good like hidden gem.
Yeah, rent or buy from $6.99 Prime Video.
And then finally another horror film called Don't Look Away. It doesn't move, it doesn't think, it just kills. For one young woman, a chance encounter with this supernatural entity proves devastating. Frankie learns that once you see the mannequin, there may be no end in sight except for your own.
This sounds like it should be a YouTube movie.
It might actually be, because I'm not seeing anything.
I
about
actually
it being
saw a
anywhere.
showtime of it down at the waterfront of all places.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was intriguing. I was like, what the hell is that? But not intriguing enough to buy tickets. Sorry, bud.
No,
Don't look away.
because I got nothing here for showtime, so I got nothing. I don't know. Mannequins are scary to begin with, but the trailer looks pretty bad.
Yeah, it just looks like a dark movie, and they're gonna have a little guy in the background.
Ooh.
That's gonna get old pretty quick, folks.
Well, that's what's coming out. Nothing super great. However, I have noticed, at least while doing this show, there's a lot of random ass horror movies that come out throughout the year.
Oh, a ton. They like we go through it all the time, but they just make money.
Yeah, and they're cheap.
Yeah, exactly. They can make a solid money on low budget.
Well, after all that, Ty, we do have some movie news, and not all of it is fun.
Yeah, not a ton. I cut out a little bit of it just because there was just like some random stuff. But the biggest thing actually happened like probably right after you recorded last week while I was gone. Dune 2 got delayed. So it was supposed to come out in November this year, and it's now going to March 15th, 2024. So honestly, that just pisses me off because these movie studios just need to pay these writers and actors and get these movies out. The box office was really just booming as a result of Barbie and Oppenheimer, and now it just feels like it's going backwards again. The strike on top of just, like I said, an awful month of August feels like a disaster. Like if Mission Impossible just moved up a month, or moved back a month, I guess would be, to this month, it would have made a lot more money, and we wouldn't be sitting here talking about how there's nothing good coming out this month. But deciding to come out a week before Barbenheimer is a crazy move. So then it
is kind of interesting because as soon as you said it's not coming out till 2024, I'm like, does that take it out of the running for Oscars?
It does. It does. So that's my next point. Depending on how good Killers of the Flower Moon is, it's really just Oppenheimer's Oscars to lose. I think they're gonna clean sweep.
Right.
I don't see them losing much of anything, but we'll see. Right now, it doesn't look like anything's going to take it from the top spot, but Dune was definitely one that could have done it.
And that's why I was thrown off, because I went immediately, my betting mind went to look up the odds and to see if Dune was removed. Dune is still there somehow. Maybe they just haven't removed it yet, but it's at plus 1,200, which I believe is way worse than what it was when we originally talked about it. So if you did bet on Dune, I bet they just kind of pay you back.
Yeah, surely. But then speaking of delays, this is the last little bit of news here. So the Daredevil Born Again Marvel Disney Plus show delayed just indefinitely because of the strike.
No.
Indefinitely. So no release time on that at all. And that was honestly one of the only ones we thought we'd even give a shit about. Loki maybe, only because it's really going to tie into Marvel Snap here next week.
That's right.
But we were just talking about this before we started recording. The Exorcist Believer got moved up a week from October 6th it got moved to October 6th from the 13th. They moved a horror movie on Friday the 13th in October because of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert movie.
You know why? That movie's going to fucking clean up. They're going to
it's going to do unbelievable numbers.
All the people who couldn't go to the concert and those who did, they're going. Including
I saw that it already beat the record for most pre-sale tickets for a movie from Endgame.
That's incredible.
That's honestly incredible. So it's going to clean up. The fact that it moved an Exorcist movie on Friday the 13th is bananas. Absolutely crazy. And that's all I got for news. Not a ton. Just some really just doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom there.
It was right there, Ty. You had it.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a shame, really, about all of that. And it looks like, these strikes are just gonna continue. And we talked about this before. I would much rather have quality over quantity when it comes to movies. I don't know if these studios feel like, oh, we have to hit a certain number of movies we put out every year.
Yeah.
I just think that's a bad move. Like, I'm not seeing all the numbers on the background or anything, but shitty movies, pump them out as much as you want. Good luck making a profit. And we've talked about it before. A24 does it right.
For sure.
Cheap movies, but they're wild and crazy, and everyone goes to see them.
A24 is really one of the best going right now.
And that's actually a great segue into my Convince Me to See or Not for Past Lives, because Past Lives, I didn't know, is an A24 film.
Oh, yeah, I think I did, only because I watched the trailer a little bit the other day. And I was going to text you and say, oh, it's an A24 banger.
And Ty, that's where it is not a banger. So I'm immediately going to say, I'm going to convince you not to see this film.
Wow.
And this was one we talked about and were pretty excited for.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be pretty solid.
It was just going to be a random film that it has fantastic ratings. It has an 8.2 on IMDb, a 94 out of 100 on Metacritic. I don't see the Rotten Tomato score, but I'm imagining it's pretty high.
I'll tell you right now. It is
give me that.
98 and 93.
There
wow.
You go. Exactly.
That's numbers.
And I am on the opposite end of this movie. And I'm going to try my best to not give spoilers here. Yeah. I mean, our damn show is called Spoiler Alert, but I'm going to do my best not to spoil it just because it is relatively new and now it's available to buy and rent. So I'll give people the chance to see it. But just to read kind of the synopsis, Nora and Hae Sung, two deeply connected childhood friends, are wrested apart after Nora's family emigrates from South Korea. 20 years later, they are reunited for one fateful week as they confront notions of love and destiny. So essentially what that means is the movie starts out, there's three of them at a bar, and I don't know why people are like looking at them. That's never explained during the movie, but it's like, oh, I wonder what their story is. And it's like some random ass person you don't see like narrating, and like, oh, I bet she's married to him and that's their friend. They're like, oh no, they could be married to him and that's her friend. And it's like, okay, just kind of setting up the story here, whatever. But then it goes back, I think it was like 14 years or something like that, and they are in South Korea, and they are best friends. They end up having crushes on each other. They go on a little date, as much of a date as you can go on when you're like 11, however old they were. Like, the girl is about to move to, I believe, Canada at first, but she does end up in New York City. And the guy stays in Korea, and does not hear from her for years.
Okay.
So that's the story. And then of course, like, oh, they're going to get connected again, whatever. And they do over Facebook. This is back in like 2012 or something. So I guess that makes sense for Facebook to still be relevant. And, it's just slow and awkward listening to them talk to each other. It's like the guy, what's his name? Jung Hae Sung. He is obviously super into her. She's just like an incredibly unlikable character. You just feel like how selfish she is. And I don't think that was on purpose. I think you're meant to like feel, oh, she's trying to make the best of her life and stuff like that. But like, she straight up strings this dude along for years. And I'm going to say something here that's not a super spoiler because it's in the trailer. But after they start talking, like, she's like, I'm trying to make it here in New York. And all I can think about doing is buying a ticket home to Korea to come see you. We need to stop talking for a little bit. And he's like, okay, sure. And then this happens a lot in the movie. It's like a scene will happen, and then there will be a title screen. It's like 12 years later. I'm like, what? They stopped fucking talking for like 6 years or some shit. I'm like, that's not a little bit of time. I'm like, you just completely just like said, fuck that dude. Let him go to rot, got married, and then like he shows up in New York one day and they meet up, and that's where most of the story takes place.
Oh wow.
But it is just awkward as hell. The silence in between the talking. I think that's supposed to be awkward because it's an awkward situation, but it goes so fucking long. And it is just slow. It's only an hour 40, an hour 45. And maybe like 45 minutes to an hour into it, I'm like, is this over yet? And I remember like hovering over the thing to tell you how much time left. I'm like, there's fucking 40 minutes left. I like could not believe it. Like I was bored. Sophie was bored. And it starts off interesting enough. You know, there's these kids that are good friends. You know, I don't want to call them lovers because they're children. That's just weird. but like they're obviously extremely good friends. They have a little crush on each other. They move away, and then you want the movie to be, you know, a nice one, but they try to go out of the way to be different than other romance movies. And I didn't think it worked up. Obviously, I'm in the minority, but I was bored out of my mind during this movie.
Well, I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yes.
Sounds like we were going to fire it up on the same night, and I was just like, you know what? No.
Let Dylan take the hit on this one.
Yeah. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a snoozer.
It was. It really was. And you know, I can be a downer at times on this show, but this was really a movie I was excited to see. Yeah. I thought it had potential. I've seen other Korean films that have been fantastic. Obviously, Parasite's the one that really sticks out. I'll admit I'm not the biggest romance film guy. But I've seen enough to know that this is different and it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like it.
Yeah. It sounds like it's either going to be, you're either going to love it or hate it on this one. If it's not keeping our attention, then it doesn't sound worth our time, honestly.
Yeah. The characters, like I said, she's extremely unlikable. There's like no real character building. The cinematography is actually pretty good. Like everything looks really well done and pretty, I guess. The dialogue can be like stupid at times. But yeah, it just did not work for me. I ended up giving it a 3.
Oh, okay.
Out of 10. Yeah. So I was pretty low. And I like to think of my rating as I walk through the movie. And I would say, you know, the first half hour, I was probably at like a 6.
Yeah.
And through an hour, I was probably at a 5. And it was really the final moments of the movie where he's in town and they're like getting together. Her, him, and her husband. And it's just fucking weird and slow and boring.
Yeah, it just sounds like an awkward movie.
Yeah, just tore it down. And that's what people like probably because it is different, but it's not. It just did not hit any of those marks for me.
Yeah, wow. What a bummer. We thought it might be solid. And, you know, that's why you can't always trust the reviews, everybody.
That's right. But let's have you go now with the movie fresh in your mind, Bottoms.
Okay. So I'll start off. I was excited for this one, but I didn't have like really high expectations. You know, I just thought it would be, you know, it sounded funny on paper. The trailer was good. So not a very wide release on this one. The closest theater was like 40 minutes away. That being said, let's hop into it. Quick synopsis on it. 2 unpopular queer high school students start a fight club to have sex before graduation. So this one's starring Rachel Sennott, who also co-wrote and executive produced, I think with someone else too, and Ayo Idibiri, She's from The Bear. We know her from The Bear, all kind of stuff. Her voice work. They're both absolutely killing it right now. But
Yeah.
So it currently has a 7.4 on IMDb and 95s across the board on Rotten Tomatoes. They match up. That's pretty crazy. So I'm glad I was able to find a showing for this one right after work on a Friday. It was perfect, regardless of the shitty Squirrel Hill traffic. Traffic was awful to get to there, and there's not a parking lot, it's just street parking. So like I went to the Manor Theater is what it's called. Compared to most theaters these days, that one just feels like a blast from the past. It only has, I was telling you all this before we started to record, but it only has 3 theaters in it. And the seats are all the same level. No stairs, nothing like that. So you're literally just kind of all sitting on the ground, and it just feels like such a 90s old school vibe. You feel like you're back in time. So that was cool right off the bat. And there was a bar, which they definitely don't have that at all the theaters I go to around here. Caught my attention, but I didn't see anybody's bartending, so I did not get a drink for the movie. Wish I did. The movie definitely did live up to my expectations, though. Like I said, even though they weren't high, the good reviews started to up my excitement, and yeah, I thought it was hilarious. It's a lot more over the top than I would have expected, and I know what everybody's probably thinking. Oh, a movie about 2 lesbians making a fight club. Like, surely people are thinking, like Barbie, they're gonna be pushing like a gay and feminist agenda the whole movie. But I didn't really feel like that was the case at all. They're kind of just like dumbass high schoolers that want to get laid before school ends, and they happen to be lesbians. And they end up making a fight club to make it happen, and that's hilarious. So a lot of the dialogue feels like a sketch, like from I Think You Should Leave or something, and it's hilarious. The way the shit they say and the way they say it is just great. Aya was in a sketch, and I Think You Should Leave too, the one where the dad goes into the VR store and he can't breathe.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Actually, I think I didn't realize that because I saw that before I saw The Bear when I really knew her.
Yeah, she's, like I said, she's absolutely just killing it right now. And this is no different. They've been crushing it. Rachel Sennott was also in Shiva Baby, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I just watched Shiva Baby not that long ago. It was really cool. It's just about her being incredibly awkward at a funeral, like a Jewish funeral, I think it is. Yeah, Jewish funeral. And it's just really funny. 2 great performances here from them, but a standout performance is from Marshawn Lynch.
Oh yeah,
he might just steal the whole damn show. So of course we know him from being like a beast on the football field, but it turns out the guy can just act. He's just hilarious. I did just read too that a lot of it wasn't even really just acting. He was just improvising on the spot. I also read that he had at 16 his sister came out as a lesbian, and he didn't really have a great reaction to that apparently. So this was his way of kind of making up for that, being in a movie about 2 young lesbians. Absolutely hilarious performance from him, and it was honestly just a pleasant surprise to see him in the movie. The movie absolutely flies by too, hour and a half. I'd even see myself rewatching it. I don't say that quite often. I'd imagine just throwing this on and watching it. It's pretty damn funny. The last, half hour is so fucking ridiculous. It's hilarious. But it's definitely one of the best movies we've seen since Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I'm going to end up with a pretty high 8 on this one.
Nice, okay.
So I definitely recommend checking this one out. It's on par with Barbie and Sanctuary for me, so we'll see where it stacks up towards the end of the year. I could see myself maybe even going 9 on it.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So how, obviously from the synopsis, I was like, what? So how do they decide, all right, we want to get laid, Fight Club, that's the way to do it?
So the way it's set up is that they're they call themselves they're gay and unpopular and untalented or whatever like that. So they accidentally the 2 girls that they're attracted to, the one has this is a little bit of spoiler territory, but I mean, honestly, nobody's going to go run to the theater to see it, but little spoiler here, they injure the star quarterback of the school. And they say, and somehow they're talking to the principal. It ends up that they're actually getting ready to start a self-defense club, fight club thing. And then it gets taken out of context and becomes a whole big thing. And then it turns out people think they were in juvie and all this stuff. It's hilarious. It's really funny. It's a good time.
Very cool. So I was curious. So this is obviously high school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Senior year.
So yeah, because I'm like, how old are they? they're only 2 years younger than us.
Yeah.
Both of them. And I'm like, they're playing high schoolers. I guess that's not uncommon. That always happens. But I was just surprised to see that because Ayo's like always playing super young characters. I just never really knew how old she was.
Which compared to how high schoolers actually look, like if we were to walk into a high school right now, they look super young. These girls don't look too young, but they pass for high schoolers.
Gotcha.
A lot of funny bits in this movie too, like that just go under the radar. Like the one girl's like super close friends with the janitors. So every time a janitor walks by, she's always like, "What's up?"
It's like little things.
It's like so over the top too. Like it's real, but it's like at the same time it's kind of like surreal. Some of the shit, like the mascot's got like a big it's like a lion or something. It's just got a huge hog on it. A big huge hog, like the suit and everything. It's hilarious. It's funny, dude. I think you'd probably like it too.
So is Marshawn like gym teacher or coach?
No, he's just an actual teacher.
He's shows
like
up.
a history teacher or something. That's what's even funnier because you would expect him to just be like a coach or something like that. Nah, he's like giving lessons on feminism and shit.
Yeah, the picture they have of him on IMDb, he's standing there. He's sitting there with a magazine called Divorce and Happy.
Yeah,
and underneath his fingers are kind of covering it, but I can make it out. It says "Big Booty Babe."
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a good one. Yeah.
I gotta see this one. That it does look funny. It was most ridiculous concept ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds good.
It's definitely worth a watch. I'm sure it'll be streaming pretty soon, so it wasn't a huge wide release. So surely it'll be streaming pretty soon.
Is it kind of out there like Joyride kind of was, where it's just ridiculous?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does get ridiculous, for sure.
Awesome. And that's what I want in a comedy. Like so many of them, like I enjoy like witty humor, kind of here and there. But give me some like ridiculous shit. That's really
like
funny.
This movie's definitely grounded in realism, but it gets over the top at some points, and it's fucking funny when it does.
Awesome.
And Rachel Sennott and Ayo are just fucking killing it right now. Like I said, I like Rachel Sennott a lot.
I think I'll save it for maybe the next episode type, but I was thinking maybe we give like a couple actors and actresses that are up and coming that will end up being like kind of the new phase of actors and actresses, like replacing the Leonardo as he gets older and all of those folks.
Yeah, these two definitely on that list for sure.
All right, Ty, I'm going to do one last convince me to see before we get into a quick review of You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah.
I'm going to be terrible at saying that.
Bat
Mitzvah.
Bat Mitzvah. Bat. I keep wanting to say bat.
Yeah, me too. I did not last week, the week ago. I was talking about, I was like, oh, Bat Mitzvah.
Bat Mitzvah. Yeah, we're very non Jewish. But this next movie here is one I've waited a good bit to see, mostly because I didn't have great vibes when it came out. I'm like, this is just another Boogeyman movie. And I thought that because it's called The fucking Boogeyman. So, still reeling in from the tragic death of their mother.
My fucking mother.
The mother. I've been getting Sopranos shorts and The Godfather shorts, so it's all coming out now.
That's awesome. And while you're talking about that Past Lives movie, I saw that the husband of the lady played young Silvio Dante in Many Saints in Newark, so that was funny too.
They're everywhere, dude.
They are.
Anyways, after the death of her mother, a teenage girl and her younger sister find themselves plagued by a sadistic presence in their house and struggle to get their grieving father to pay attention before it's too late. So, concept, seen it a billion times, is really how it ends up. This movie, there's really not a lot different from a lot of the other horror films in a similar concept where, there's a demon in the house, and then no one fucking believes them because why would they? It's a demon. But it starts out the guy from all the Christopher Nolan films, that David Dastmalchian guy.
Yeah.
Who's in all of them. He's in it, And he is the one that is like, I don't think possessed is the right word, but he's the one being attacked by the boogeyman. The boogeyman
Okay.
has killed his entire family, and by just his children, I should say. The wife's still alive. I think he killed like 3 of his kids, and that's how the movie opens. So not a super spoiler, but the boogeyman literally kills a baby in the first like 5 minutes of the movie. I'm like, oh shit,
That's a bold choice. To
like
start off with baby killing.
It's not shown on screen, but you see a
Right.
baby is crying, and then something happens, then it like pans over to the side, and the baby's crying. You hear its neck like snap, and then blood's just everywhere. I was like, fuck, okay. Getting off quickly here. So that did bury me into it a bit further. I had a bit more interest because how many movies do that? You know, like I think the last movie I saw where a baby was killed was The Human Centipede, like 3 or something like that. You know, one of those smut films. But it kind of goes from there. There's too much stupid like high school drama. The only characters that are written somewhat well are the main ones. And then it's like everyone else that is involved is just written completely horribly. Nobody acts like a normal human being. Like this. So the story, as you heard from the synopsis, their mom just died in like a car accident or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like her first day back at school since it happened. And, you know, her one friend's like, hey, it's good to have you back. And she's like, yeah, thank you for actually like talking to me. Everyone's like just staring at me and acting weird. And then these other girls come over, and she's wearing her mom's dress, and they're like, do you think that's a good idea? Don't you just want to get over this? She's like, no, I'm not trying to get over this. And then they like start fighting, and pack of lunch that was left in her locker like gets smeared all over the dress and ruins it. And I'm like, that girl's mom just died, and you're gonna start fighting with her? Like, it did not make any sense. But this big entire movie, like, it just a complete bitch for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. But the writing is not great for most of the other characters. The where I will give it props, it's the first horror movie in quite a while that actually got me with a couple jump scares.
Really?
And that is not easy to do. You know, you can tell when a jump scare is.
Yeah, for sure.
Where like Sophie wasn't not. She was like, "Holy shit, you actually jumped!" I was like, "Yeah, what the fuck?" But the boogeyman creature thing, pretty cool show it, but they don't show it enough. But you know, the scares here and there, the story dumb, and they do the things like a lot of horror movies do, where like someone's getting in a house and it's incredibly loud, but somehow nobody fucking. That shit never made any sense to me, and that happens a lot in this movie. Just like in the same damn house, while his daughters are getting thrown around everywhere, and he doesn't show up until afterwards. I'm like, bro, how did you not hear any of that? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's weird.
So with that said, if you haven't figured it out, this is an okay movie, but I'm not going to use this segment to convince you to see it. So I got 2 bummers here. Didn't end up with a horrible rating. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
But it's a pretty generic horror movie.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember that's what we thought about it even whenever we first heard about it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really it. You know, the best character is that David Dasmalchian guy. His character makes a lot of sense. It looks like a lot of good writing went into him, and then everyone else was just like generic and didn't act like a normal human.
Yeah, it sounds about right for these horror movies.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. That sounded about right. That's about as much as I think that's about as well as we thought it would go for that movie.
It's a movie to throw on, you know, if you got nothing better to do. It's not horrible. It's not great. Which is probably the same thing we can say about this next film. You are so not invited to My Bat Mitzvah. So Ty, how did you feel about this movie?
So I mean, I remember when we first talked about it, we were excited, thinking it was probably going to be more of like a comedy than it was. Probably thought it would have a lot more Adam Sandler in it than it did.
Yes.
That being said, definitely not for probably us. Definitely probably more for a younger, probably female audience. But also, it's pretty cute. It's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's definitely, like I said, definitely not targeted us, but not enough Sandler, I will say. Yeah. And his daughter's great, though. Both of his daughters are really great, and I can see them having great acting careers just like their dad. I mean, Sonny absolutely steals the show as, like, the lead.
Yeah.
Her name's Stacy, I think, in the movie. Her name's Sonny in real life, but Stacy in the movie.
Is it?
Or is Sonny the one that's...
Sadie's the star. Sonny's the older one who's the
right, okay. Yep. And Sonny's the one that looks exactly like Adam Sandler.
Yeah. And
I mean, they both do, but...
Fun fact, named Sonny because him and Jackie met on Big Daddy.
Really?
Yep. There you go.
I never knew that they met on Big Daddy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I was surprised how pretty good they were. Sonny has a much lesser background role, but she's still kind of funny. They're just super into horror movies.
Yeah, they're just it's all just her and like her. They're not lesbians, right? It's just her buddy. They're just hanging out.
It's just her buddy. And like those guys who obviously have an interest in them, they're like, "Oh, have you seen this one?" They're like, "Yep, saw it. Go away." And they didn't see it. And then the next time they are watching the movie that those dudes suggest. So there's obviously a little connection here and there with them. I'm with you. I always want more Adam Sandler. That's just a given. But he's really not in it very much. His screen time is probably 10 minutes, if that. What else can we say? I think you're 100% right. We're obviously not the target audience. And that's what I kind of wanted to think at towards the end. I'm like, for like a preteen to teen girl, this is probably a pretty okay movie that's enjoyable for them.
Bonus points if you're Jewish.
Yeah, exactly. It probably makes a lot more sense if you are. I'm like, I don't know what all these things are. It's like, I know the big party thing when they're 13. I understand all that, but there's like a lot of other little Jewish things in there that I'm like, I don't know what that is. All of my knowledge on Jewish people comes from Adam Sandler and South Park. So it's like, that's probably not the best place to get that information.
One of my biggest takeaways from the movies that I absolutely hate this generation of kids.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like just like everything they do, there's like film and dancing and just douche. Yeah, just little douches.
Yeah, they were making fun of that though, so I think like Adam Sandler may have had some influence there. Like, hey, make fun of this because it's stupid. You got to do a TikTok dance for everything we do.
If you just want to like just hop into some spoilery things we thought were funny, I have a couple bits I thought were pretty good. Let's
do it. So spoiler alert coming up, and we're gonna end the show this way. So we'll see you next time.
See you. I thought whenever like she's just pulling out right in front of that teacher and he just wrecks his car, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it kept happening.
What else? Sandler just loves to go to the movies.
Yeah, and in a robe. He's like, all about comfort, honey.
So that was funny.
That's what I aspire to be. When I'm 50, that basketball shorts, go to a movie in a robe. I don't give a fuck.
It does get goddamn cold in the theater sometime, I will say.
That's right.
It's rare that I wear it's rare that I wear shorts to the theater.
I'm gonna go get the blanket from the car.
But Sarah Sherman is her name, the girl that plays the Rebecca, the rabbi. I cannot stand her. Cannot stand her. I guess she's on SNL. Or she used to be on SNL.
That makes a ton of sense.
She's just I found her unbearable.
Because like she showed up and like I watched this movie with my mom and my mom was like, the hell is she doing? Like just trying to figure her out and like it couldn't be done.
Yeah, I didn't like her one bit.
There are some pretty solid comedy bits here. Like I thought, she had her Adam Sandler was buying pads, period pads for her. Yeah. It's like, how you feeling? Is it a heavy flow? It's like, and then she jumps off the cliff and my mom caught it immediately. She's like, oh no, the pad's gonna float up. And it did. And they're like, oh my God. They're like, what? And all the girls are like, what? It happens every month. And someone was like, that looks like that's 2 months or something like that. I was like, oh. But yeah, a lot of female targeted comedy, but at the same time, it's pretty funny. But being a near 30 adult male,
Yeah.
sometimes I felt a little awkward laughing at comedy about these teenagers or preteens. I guess she's 12 in this movie. I think she is older than that. I'm pretty sure she's like 14 at this point. But still, it's like awkward a little bit to like laugh at that type of stuff. So obviously, the movie isn't for us.
Yeah.
It was well made.
I agree.
We'll say
I kind of think Idina Menzel's character, I think she was kind of like overacting. It seemed like at some points, like, I don't know, there's like some, and like even in the trailer, you can see how it kind of feels like overproduced at some point.
Right. He has just all that Netflix
Too
money.
much going on. Yeah. Just way overproduced. It looks like a little bit in some spots. It was kind of, I kind of got bored at some points. I'd pull the phone out. But like we said, that's not even the movie fault. That's just, we're not young. Yeah, we ain't it.
We ain't it. So I ended up I did a 4.
Yeah, I'm at a 4 as well.
You had a 4.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair. I liked it more than Past Lives, so that tracks. At least I could laugh at some of this. But yeah, I'm not. I've never gone through the I like a boy, my best friend likes a boy type thing. I've never gone through I like a girl and my best friend likes a girl type thing. It's like never having that happen. You can't really relate. It seems to be more often that happens with girls.
Yeah.
But
yeah, probably.
It's it wasn't for us. Is really how we'll end it out. Sitting at a 6 out of 10, 71 on Metacritic, which is the highest rated Adam Sandler movie. Probably
Happy
outside
Madison.
Of
I was gonna say Happy Madison or Adam Sandler, because Sandler has Uncut Gems, but yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, right. His daughter's first movie does better than any of his.
That's almost like too good to be true.
Right, and I think there's probably some bumps here and there from some critics for stupid reasons.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The DJ. His helmet freaked me out too. The little disco ball helmet.
Yeah,
what the hell's going on?
It's like a wannabe Daft Punk.
Yeah,
kind of
Jewish Daft Punk. Yeah. What else? I think that's really pretty much it. But yeah, first time of them in a lead role. They've been in multiple of his movies, and that's always funny. Obviously, Jackie, his wife, is in a ton of his films. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, whenever I said Sandler's wife, I meant her. I didn't mean Idina Menzel. I meant Jackie. It seemed like Jackie was kind of talking, like her facial expressions were weird when she was talking in the movie.
That seems to happen a lot. She always kind of overplays.
Yeah.
Her character. That's probably why she wasn't his wife in the movie.
Probably.
I didn't know Billy Madison was directed by a female.
What?
Yeah, Tamara Davis. The reason I brought that up, but it's the first Adam Sandler feature film to be directed by a woman since Billy Madison.
I didn't know that at all. That's crazy.
Oh, this was also another bit of trivia that I caught. In a lot of his movies, there's always someone named Lamonsoff. Lamonsoff was his college roommate. So he just has his name randomly in all of his movies. And in this one, when they were at Bat Mitzvah, there was a table. They're like, can we go sit with the Lamonsoffs? And I'm like, It's just like one of those things that it's in all of his films.
Yeah, I know he always does like the double letter love interest too.
Right. Was it in this one?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so in this one. But...
Or E. Friedman. No, that's not fun. That's pretty much it. I think if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably that you are more on our side of how we feel about this movie than others. I don't think we have many preteens listening to our show.
Probably
Maybe
not.
we do.
But
I'm a side on the error of no.
I don't think I know a preteen.
No, all of my cousins are old now, and it freaks me out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, well, Maggie's driving now. I'm like, what? Maggie was like 4 the last time I saw her, you know?
It's nuts. Yeah.
Weird shit. It scares me. I guess we can look at our metrics, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that we don't have any preteens. So likely not a movie for you. We wanted to see it because we thought we were going to get more Adam Sandler, and we did not.
Turns out we did not.
We were incorrect.
That is correct.
Miss Chris Farley. I'm also a firm believer that if Chris Farley was still around, Kevin James wouldn't have a career.
Thank God.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Wish he was still here so we didn't have Kevin James.
Fucking Kevin James. I heard he's a dick, too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think that's where we ended here. I don't know what we do next week. You know, if there's not a ton to see, maybe we just do like one of our top whatever lists.
Yeah. I'm gonna see The Nun, so we'll have to we'll have that we'll have that at least. So that's one thing in the pocket.
That'll work.
Hell yeah. Good to be back on the pod. I hate taking a week off. It's good,
I hate talking to myself.
Back in the theaters. Oh, it's the worst. It's tough.
I'm like, I do it for sleeping with the numbers now, and it's just like it feels weird. But,
I was listening because I did my first draft on Thursday.
Ooh, how'd you do?
I sent you the picture earlier. I think solid. There's only 10 of us. Yeah, it might not have sent because I was at work. It's pretty solid. We'll probably have to cut this out, but
there it is. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, I'll take a look at that, but we will see you next time with The Nun.
See ya.